Uganda, Yusuf Nsabambi, to join the ruling NRM. Amriat said Nsabambi had shown signs of discomfort within the party as early as last year, culminating in his meeting with the president last week. He added that the defection will not weaken the FDC or the broader opposition.
Just over a week after FDC Vice President for Uganda, Yusuf Nsabambi's shocking meeting with President Yoweri Museveni, Nsabambi is back yet in the spotlight following his decision to formally join the ruling National Resistance Movement, a party he has opposed for years. The Mawokota South legislator and the FDC chief whip is said to have showed what the FDC president, Patrick Oboye-Moriet, described as uncomfortable tendencies within the party leadership as early as last year, only to climax into the move to the NRM. While the party wouldn't be shocked with Nsabambi throwing in a towel, the move to the NRM has caught them by surprise.
In that respect, it comes as a surprise to us, members of the FDC, leadership of the FDC, and the entire country, that the Honorable Yusuf Nsabambi would wear the most yellow attire today and, cross into the NRM.
The party has also criticized Nsabambi for what they called castigating FDC as he exited, including claims that the party collapsed after former Deputy Treasurer General Anita Mong left. FDC dismisses those remarks as exaggerated and politically motivated.
But I think that is an overstatement that is intended to please the Right Honourable Speaker, and I believe probably for personal aggrandizement.
Nsabambi leaves the party amidst the looming disciplinary process over his alleged unauthorized engagement with President Museveni at State House in Entebbe. According to Amurit, Nsabambi's appearance at State House without informing or seeking clearance from the leadership was being handled under Article 12 of the FDC Constitution, a process that has ended with his defection to NRM. Scholars believe Nsabambi's decision to abandon FDC for NRM is hinged on political gains rather than ideological foundation of their respective parties.
Yusuf Nsabambi saying the NRM is corrupt, the NRM is dictatorial, the NRM doesn't listen to the opposition. That is what they have been saying. So what makes you just switch suddenly to the other side? I think for me the issue is personal.
The leader of opposition in Parliament, Joe Senyonyi, believes the opposition remains unshaken by Nsabambi's move, as the greater opposition lies within the society and the members of the public rather than an individual.
Opposition to Mr. Museveni and his regime is not just us, the leaders. It is the people of Uganda who want a better country. Even if, all opposition leaders, as they are known, cross over, the people remain with their challenges, and so the issues will be voiced out again and again.
Yusuf Nsabambi, who contested in the January 15th general elections aiming to retain Mawokota South, lost miserably. He has since castigated his electorate for his loss.
Who is the man in the news? Yusuf Nsabambi. Let's take a look at his profile. Yusuf Nsabambi is the current member of parliament that is for Mawokota South. And when you look at his other profile, he, in October 2023, was appointed the FDC chief whip. He also served as the FDC Deputy President for Central Region, and he's been serving there in the FDC. He joined politics as a reformist under FDC, but previously he had been teaching law at Makerere University for 27 years. He also served as the chairperson of the Kampala District Land Board. That's the man that has now joined NRM right from FDC, from being deputy president of FDC to now being a member of the NRM. Yusuf Nsabambi is not the only one who has defected from FDC to NRM. We have the whole list of other notable figures, and let's take a look at that list. On top of the list, you have the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong. You have the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa. You have Member of Parliament for Kilak North, Akol Anthony. You have Christopher Chibazanga, who is a former Minister of State for Agriculture. You have Sylvia Naebare, Member of Parliament for Gomba District, also defected from FDC to NRM. You have Betty Kamya, who is now a presidential advisor and previously IGG. You have the Honorable Beatrice Atimanywa, who is now the State Minister for Environment. You have Alex Onzima, who is former State Minister for Local Government. You also have now who is the presidential advisor, Florence Nachuora Chienji, also defected from FDC to NRM, and now lastly the man, Yusuf Nsibambi. That's a whole list of people who have defected from FDC to NRM. Now, after major defections to different political parties, we ask, what exactly is left of FDC? So these are the different defections of FDC. FDC, of course, we had some people who defected from FDC, went to the National Unity Platform. There are those that defected from FDC and went to the Alliance for National Transformation. And just last year, some defected from FDC to PFF. And you also have the defections from FDC to NRM. As you can see right there, FDC has been split so many times to NUP, to PFF. You also have those that go to ANT and now NRM. The question we're asking tonight is, what is left of FDC? Now, moving on, NRM legislators, including Bukoto South Member of Parliament, Dr. Twaha Kagabo, have welcomed Maokota South Member of Parliament, Yusuf Nsibambi's defection to the ruling party, describing it as a bold and wise decision. Dr. Kagabo, who recently crossed from the opposition's National Unity Platform, said Uganda's opposition is directionless, full of intrigue and plagued by internal conflicts, making Nsibambi's move timely. However, opposition whip in Parliament, John Baptist Nambeshe, expressed disappointment, calling it a major loss for the opposition in the House.
Honorable Nsibambi, I think he must have got frustrated right from the electorate, as we saw earlier. The only thing is that he has to continue to justify positions. It's not going to be a downward glide like in any other opposition party. In NRM, the fight continues, the shoulders continue, the slugging continues. We wish him that.
It is some visionary aspect that the president and the chairman of the mighty party of the NRM has been having open hands and welcoming people we can work together. You're seeing this coming in left and right. Many members from other parties are continuing to come because it becomes very difficult for you to have a very good passion to serve the country and you're keeping your ideas out there.
And the new marriage that he has joined, I don't know whether it's holy or unholy. It will depend on members of that party to sit and resolve on whether they maintain him as a whip up to May.
And now we're joined by the national chairman of FDC, Jack Sabiti, to let us in on what the party does think of this defection of Yusuf Nsibambi. Jack Sabiti, many thanks for joining us this evening. What have you lost as a party when you look at everything with the departure of Yusuf Nsibambi?
Every Ugandan has a right to belong to any party. And once a member decides to change, to join any other party, it is his right. Nsibambi was a good member of the party, and whatever reason he advances why he left, it's for him to explain to the people of Uganda and to those parties where he has gone. As far as I know, Nsibambi was a good man. He worked hard for the party for some time. And the reasons he's advancing, I don't understand, because he has been a good member of parliament representing his people. Maybe, and this is what has come to my mind recently, that maybe it is because he lost an election, he became emotional about it. He forgot that many people have lost elections. But when you lose elections, you don't
What conviction did they have when they were in the opposition? Is that conviction still there? Then why, if the conviction then they had, what do they think about the state of the country by them forcing each person to cross over to NRM, yet the conditions which the country was facing then are still actually accelerating or even worse?
Right. So let me ask, do you think that there is an attempt to turn Uganda into a one-party state? Looks like the NRM wants opposition dead and we going back to where we came from.
Yes, there is a panic, especially after the grossly violated elections. There is a panic by the NRM to now try to cover up and even not now to try to address the issues the nation is facing, which is unfortunate, but as a nation, we should face the issues and try to dialogue instead of buying everyone, because definitely you cannot buy every Ugandan. That will not be possible. And they will emerge, as you keep buying others, there will be emerging some new leaders who will carry the resistance successfully.
Professor Rogers Bargayomo, many thanks, and always a pleasure speaking to you and your analysis on some of these stories. Well, Samson, looks like there's going to be a lot of fish out there to be caught. I was going to say to be fished.
One would hope so. But now there is a very interesting one as far as economists and analysts thereof who are warning that we sort of are in a very difficult situation if you are to look at Uganda's rising commitment fees on unused borrowed funds. And these are causing significant financial losses and slowing economic growth. They do attribute the problem to poor project preparation and weak adherence to procurement and implementation rules and guidelines. The Auditor General's report shows that nearly 75 billion shillings is lost funds, which analysts say could have been used for hospitals, schools, and vital infrastructure for the citizens.
Uganda has over the years borrowed heavily to finance major development projects such as roads, hospitals, and other public infrastructure intended to support national growth. However, persistent delays in utilizing some of these funds have turned part of this borrowing into a financial burden. The latest Auditor General's report shows that the country pays nearly 75 billion shillings annually in commitment fees on loans that remain undisbursed. As billions are lost each year maintaining idle loans, experts warn Uganda may be paying the price for borrowing without adequate preparation.
Loans your debt obligation. You will end up with arrears, which are very, very detrimental to the private sector that provided the services to the government.
We are not ready.
We are borrowing when we are not ready to utilize these funds. So the question is, what is the motivation behind this?
Economists say the country continues to lose even more money beyond interest as borrowed funds fail to deliver intended results, leaving uncompleted roads and other critical infrastructure and weakening key sectors of the economy.
A case scenario of Rusega-Mpigi Express Highway. This project initially was 500 billion to be completed in 3 years. By the time it is 5 years, it had spent $1 trillion plus, and it was at 40% performance. It was not money was finished.
Recently, I was on Mpigi Road. You know, you spend an hour plus to move from Mpigi Nsangi literally up to Kampala, and we've had that dual carriage up to Mpigi for the last 15 years. So there is the cost to the economy.
Now we have borrowed money from ADB, another $1 trillion, to complete the project. God knows if we shall even finish it.
They blame ignored public borrowing procedures, corruption, and vested interests that disrupt project implementation.
Procurement bottlenecks, this is to do with delayed contracts, corruption, and also awarding contracts to the firms that actually are not in position to deliver.
The Auditor General is telling us that we have projects in our system that are being implemented, but they don't have profiles. They don't have a concept note. neither do they have a visibility study.
Analyst side stalled projects such as the Segampiji Expressway and Lubowa Specialized Hospital, which remain incomplete despite securing funding. Question remains, what could 75 billion shillings achieve if properly used? Experts say it could build at least 70 health center 3s, pave about 35 kilometers of road, or support other vital public projects.
That is economists and analysts. The question is, what is the PSST saying? Well, responding to concerns over continued losses in public borrowing due to avoidable delays, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary of the Treasury, Minister of Finance, curbing future financial losses from undisbursed loans. Let me disburse the story.
Yes, in the past we had some laxity in public investment management. A number of projects were approved by Parliament. They start to get implemented when they have not been studied, when they don't have feasibility studies, or if they have feasibility studies, they are not well costed, they need a lot of variations and so on. We have learned lessons from that past, so going forward, we have already put strict and stringent requirements for any project to enter our national budget to be financed. It has to, first of all, have gone through the public investment management system, where they appraise that project, evaluate its contribution to economic development of Uganda or for the well-being of the people. Not every project is for the economy, but for the well-being of Ugandans. And this we are not at any one time going to relent again. We have also set in that very strategic plan a new chapter for issuance of what we call a budget discipline charter. Every accounting officer of government is going to be required to sign on a budget discipline charter.
Budget discipline charter. You're going to have to sign those. But before you even sign them, let's look at the feedback. Now, with increasing defections to the NRM, what strategic reforms must the opposition undertake to remain credible, united, and politically relevant? Let's get to your feedback there. I think the opposition parties should strengthen their grassroots structures, have improved party discipline, and build a clear national agenda. That is King Arthur. Who else is there? Vidi says, even Jesus Christ was betrayed by Judas Iscariot. There is no way you can deter betrayers from coexisting with others in society. We must be more vigilant and mindful of the people we give positions in the opposition political parties. There's nothing money cannot do under the sun. I mean, nobody paid Lucifer to become the devil, was there? And your leaders have been talking. Let's find out what they have said. Of course, we begin with the Fountain of Honor. I met Abe Selassie of the International Monetary Fund and informed him that the correct line for Uganda is value addition, peace and security and open markets. However, we must deal with the high cost of transport, electricity and money and discourage the externalization of profits so that they are reinvested here. The center of gravity of our economy is agriculture and manufacturing, and we must deliberately strengthen them. Signed and sealed, President Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, and Jack Sadek. Congratulations, Uganda, on the EU approval that allows the export of fish and finfish products from aquaculture to the European Union market. Look forward to seeing Ugandan fish in the EU. Find a fish pond and get to make some of that money. And what we're doing now is thinking of a break. But before even we get there, this is what is coming.
More to come.
Well, the IGP Abbas Byakagaba, in the interest of public security and safety, has made a major police reshuffle. Who is in, who is out? And some with this reshuffle might not be very, very lucky. But what is very lucky is we are going to go to a break.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down, just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Tusker Malt Lager. Alcohol is not for sober persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
At the heart of Uganda's modern furniture industry stands Hwansung. Experience the white and black metal high glossy kitchen, a reflection of modern elegance built to last. Every detail is designed for convenience, from smooth sliding drawers to integrated dustbin accessories that keep your space spotless. Our flash doors bring nature's warmth into your home, handcrafted to perfection, with a finish that speaks of heritage and strength. Our TV stands and lobby lounge partitions bring beauty into every home. Hwansung makes a difference.
I want to be an engineer. I want to be a chef. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be a musician. I want to be a basketballer.
Twinbrook International School is a school where you will see people from around the world. It's diverse. You will have the opportunity to experience things you've never experienced before. We have highly skilled teachers and a comfortable environment that does not pressure but eases the minds of students to help them into their future careers. Our school integrates art, culture, history, language, and performing arts such as drama, music, and dance into the academic curriculum. Work smart, succeed. Twinbrook International School.
Somchara. Yes, Daddy. You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Take a look around, and you'll see everything can be reimagined. Everything rough can be smooth. Everything old can be fresh. Everything can be made vibrant and full of attitude. The world is what you make it, so why not make it yours? Guinness Smooth. Make it yours.
Are you planning an event or wedding? Join us at Nikan Resort Hotel, Uganda. Relaxing accommodation rooms, well-equipped conference halls and boardrooms. Don't miss this fantastic opportunity to experience the best of hospitality and sufficient space. We're located in Seguku Katale, along Entebbe Kampala Road, channeling easy access to Kampala City and the airport. For reservations and inquiries, contact using the information on your screen or visit our website www.nikanresort.com.
You got Glovo. You got Glovo.
You can order what you want. You can get what you need.
You got Glovo.
You got it all. Order Glovo and receive it in minutes.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
Fine, let's talk public safety. The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Byakagaba, has effected major command changes within the police force, targeting leadership in Kampala and surrounding areas as authorities intensify efforts to contain rising crime. The reshuffle has seen the removal of the KMP commander with a new commander appointed. Changes have also affected intelligence leadership in the city, as well as command at all Kampala police divisions.
There was no dismissal. There was reassignment of the commander. He was moved from Kampala Metropolitan and given other assignments at police headquarters. The Inspector General of Police routinely moves the troops, moves the commanders in the best interest of the institution and for operational efficiency. But reorganization of forces will always be done to get the most or the best out of that deployments or the deployments and placement of personnel. So it is not that the deployment or the reassignment of the commander to optimize the output, to give the best of delivery. He knows us better. He knows how to identify those who can deliver to the best of his expectation.
Were there other transfers or specifically?
Yes.
Talk to us about other transfers.
There were other transfers. I think the deputy also was moved. There was the movement of the head of crime intelligence, the DPC Old Kampala, and all of them were reassigned.
Talking of movement, the movement here is of the bulletin. Now, the Ministry of Finance has launched a strategic plan, service delivery strategic plan, service delivery standards and client charter. Oh, that's a mouthful for the financial years 2025-2026, and that's to 2029-2030, according to senior finance and ministry officials. The 5-year plan is designed to guide interventions aimed at increasing the economy tenfold over the next
High risk that planning and implementation of government programs will continue to be a challenge, and actualization of the expected outcomes in the National Development Plan for the citizens of Uganda will be delayed.
The Minister of Finance's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Ramadhan Kobi, says that the strategic plan focuses mainly on 3 priority areas.
The overall macroeconomy is stable. The economy is growing. That's the first key role. Secondly, we are also mandated to ensure that we mobilize development finance for the development of the country. Thirdly, we are also mandated to ensure that projects are executed on time, within budget, and they deliver results.
In the plan, the ministry aims at all initiatives to expand the size of the Ugandan economy, with a target of 8% per annum for the next 15 years. Some economists, however, say that this ambitious target requires a double-digit growth rate through the years to 2040, especially with the oil revenues on the horizon.
When that comes to fruition, I will be 67. Well, school administrators from Uganda and across the country have gathered at Rugogo for the national selection of learners advancing to Senior 5. Education officials say 284,620 candidates are expected to transition this year, with placements largely guided by academic performance. Of these, 120,034 learners will join government and government-aided schools, while 164,280 will be placed in private institutions. However, this is the however bit, the selection process is exposing key challenges. Admission criteria vary widely, with elite schools favoring top grades, while others accept lower scores, raising concerns about equity. Emphasis on STEM. This has led to declining enrollment and performance in arts subjects. Permanent Secretary Kedras Turiaje says learners are not joining Senior 5. Those not joining Senior 5 will be supported to pursue vocational and alternative education pathways.
We expect about 164,280 students to be enrolled in the 1,369 private secondary schools that have the A-level.
To realize that sometimes when you force a student to do what is not interested in, it becomes a bit difficult to make the student excel.
The scientists, they were given an increment in the salary, and the arts are still pressing for an increment. So those students think that where the government has increased the salary, that's where they should also be going.
Now, those who do science, in the event that the child has A's and some B's, we will try our best to stop at B's for the science, because sometimes it gets a little bit challenging.
The increase of interest in science-based subjects is a good thing, because as you know, the 21st century is driven by science, information, and technology. So for young people to want to do a little bit more of the preliminary science, which can enable them transit into other scientific activities, is a good thing. Big numbers are going to train in skills. I'm sure you've taken time to read the Act. There are provisions at skills level, at institute level, at college level, and you can progress wherever you want to go, but also you acquire skills, you work, you generate jobs, you support others. So we are not worried about those ones.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Stephen Kazimba Mgalo, has urged Christians to use the just begun Lent season to forgive one another. He made the remarks during a service at Namirembe and also launched a 40-day period of prayer and fasting, which will be observed at St. John's Church, Makere.
Worship and praise filled Namirembe Hill as believers from the Church of Uganda gathered to pray and give thanks at the start of the Lent season. In his sermon, the Archbishop, Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, told Christians that the 40 days of fasting present an opportunity to end divisions and hatred and to restore brotherhood.
Let me call upon Uganda. We should stop hating one another because of different parties, because of different tribes. Utilize this time of Lent. Reconcile to one another. You have somebody you have hated, and you know you have hated this person. Make a phone call tonight. I have forgiven you.
The Archbishop also cautioned people to be careful about those they associate with, those they laugh and share with, and those they confide in, warning that some are wolves in sheep's clothing.
Think that some people are crying, they are with you, but inside they are just laughing at you. Not everybody who laughs at you, not everybody who smiles at you is with you. Some people are smiling outside, but inside they are cursing you. I want you to know the heart is totally different.
Today also marked the launch of the 40 days of prayer, which will include special supplication at St. John's Church in Makerere.
Barely weeks after the presidential and parliamentary elections, tensions are rising within NRM structures in parts of Lango as village and sub-county chairpersons accuse district party leaders of mismanaging funds meant for voter mobilization. The leaders claim that resources intended for grassroots activities, including transport for persons with disabilities, never reached them. In Oyam district alone, over 300 million shillings meant for more than 1,000 villages and 16 sub-counties is reported to have been mishandled, according to